Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So I've done a couple of comparisons in the past with respect to BGMI with the OnePlus and the iPhone, and I generally feel that the iPhone is slightly smoother than the OnePlus. So today we're going to see with an FPS meter how BGMI performs on the OnePlus 9 with the 90 FPS setting as well as the normal setting. So the software is up to date. I have gone to the software and checked it out. It is the December 5 latest build as well. I have turned on practically everything. So we have obviously the high screen refresh rate also, that is 120 Hz on the OnePlus 9. So that is also on. And I'm going to use the Pro gaming mode for this test. I'm going to use an FPS meter which is inbuilt. OnePlus has newly come out with this. We'll also talk about that. So there are a couple of features which OnePlus has introduced with respect to its gaming app. So if you launch it through that and use the internal gaming controls, you will be able to access a number of features. And before we get into the actual test, do subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, it is the red button below. And if you like the video, do give it a thumbs up. Now, going into the settings of the game, so we have a number of things like you can see there are gaming tools, you can answer calls via the speaker, you can probably have notifications over here, you can even have haptic feedback. Now this is not available for BGMI currently, but I think it should come along maybe in a future update. And it has got a lightning start, which basically literally has some OSWAP technology. It takes care of the RAM also and starts the game. So that is, I think, really good. Maybe the game just starts faster with that. So we'll check that out as well. And now let me just launch the game here. And hopefully the game will launch faster than usual because of the lightning start which OnePlus has introduced. The first thing which I'm going to do is turn on Pro gaming mode so that we can get the best out of the phone, and also I will turn on the FPS meter as well. So under Pro gaming mode there are all obvious advantages with respect to the network, processor, RAM, etc. Apart from other useful things like blocking notifications and other things. So that's always there. I'm going to switch on the FPS meter as I said, so that's on now. And there is another feature which has been introduced. Let's just go over that as well. So we have a voice modulator, and some of you had asked me in the past what does it generally do. So these are the basic functions it has. I'm not going to go into the detail, but this is how it actually looks. So if you are going to record yourself and give a voiceover, this is what it's exactly going to look like. You can have other apps as well in game. If you want to quickly go on to some app, you can do it. So it's basically if you want to text someone or something, you can put it out. Apart from that, there are some features which are not yet available for BGMI. I don't have Discord downloaded and installed on the phone, so that's not there, but game filters are not there. And as I said, we'll do a scientific thing this time and have a FPS meter on it. You can see the frames fluctuating here and there. I'm going to do two things here. The first thing is keep the phone on smooth and 90 FPS. I will restart the game again so that we are sure that it is a 90 FPS game which we are playing and in the same setting. And post that, I will do a short gameplay, and then we will do a normal test as well where we'll put it on HDR and Extreme and see the difference between both of them. So now I have reloaded the game and it is on the 90 FPS setting. It should not be a problem. Let me just skip this part for you and go into the actual game, and we'll go into the settings first. So now the game has loaded up, and under graphics I see smooth and 90 FPS. So the game is on 90 FPS right now, and we can now launch the game. And I'm fast forwarding the loading part so that we do not waste much time on that. Now we are inside the game, and I am turning on the FPS meter, etc. And the Pro gaming mode is also on. Now let's dive into the settings and see whether we still have the modes on. So it is at smooth and 90 FPS. So that's clear, the game is at 90 FPS, and if you see the FPS meter, it is giving me a steady 60. It's not going lesser than that or higher at all, but it is giving me a steady 60 FPS, 58, 59, 61, so something like in that range. It's not higher than that. And for giving the game a benefit of doubt, I thought that because this is still in the loading phase and in the lobby, there might be possibilities that they do not give 90 FPS, maybe to save GPU power and CPU power, etc. But frankly, through the entire game, the FPS meter just remains constant, and I will fast forward the next part of it, which is the entire gameplay part. You can see the FPS meter just being around 57, 58 to 60. That's how it is, no matter what you do. So that is pretty sad according to me. They should have done something which helps the phone at least reach 80 or 70. It could have been slightly better than 60, but it is sad that even though the game shows that it is at 90 FPS, it is not actually at 90 FPS. Not even close, not even in the middle. So that according to me is pretty sad. They should put it out there like a disclaimer that yes, we are giving you an option of 90 FPS, but the phone is never going to deliver that. Or maybe if it comes, then it comes into a future update. The next thing which I was thinking was that maybe it's not there on the OnePlus 9 and it is there on other phones, but if you see everywhere, you do see that the phones are constantly below 90 FPS unless you do a config and you do some changes into the phone. The phone does not actually give you a 90 FPS reading. So here I have cut out some parts of my gameplay so that we can see the differences. So you will see that earlier there were 0 dead and now there are straight away 7 dead. So it's the same game which I'm playing. It's just that I have cut out the parts in the middle so that we can see the differences in the frame rate, because that's the whole point of the video, not the gameplay. And as I said, now let's do the HDR plus Extreme test as well and see whether we are actually getting the normal 60 FPS or is it lesser than that. So that will give us a good perspective between both the modes, whether the 90 FPS is actually worth it or you can actually have better graphics and enjoy that and still get a 60 FPS. So what I have done here is I have reset the entire settings under the game and I have relaunched it. Now let me just go under settings and we'll be able to see the HDR setting and all of that. Yeah, so here you can see that I have selected HDR and Extreme. I'm not going to Ultra HD right now because that is something which is just going to cause the battery to go down. But HDR I think is a good graphics setting. Ultra HD is just I mean becomes really clearer, but then I do not have much use of that. It really will kill the battery. So this is a good setting which I thought about, HDR plus Extreme. Now let me skip this part and we'll go directly into the game. So now we are into the game and it's almost about to start, and you can see that the FPS meter is at 59. So there is not much difference between the 90 FPS smooth mode and the HDR Extreme mode. The FPS is the same which you get on the OnePlus 9. So it doesn't really make sense. You can actually enjoy better graphics and still have the same FPS and the same frame rate in the game. So that's a perspective which I wanted to share with you all. I think OnePlus should inform us that the FPS is not actually what you select it is. It is lesser, way lesser than that, and maybe in a future software update it should come out. So that is something which I want to put out there. Do let me know down in the comment section if you have any thoughts on this, because this, according to me, is basically just giving something on paper and not actually executing it. It is pretty sad. As usual, thanks for watching, and I will still let the video run because there is a slight gameplay in the last few seconds, and this is on the smooth and 90 FPS setting. So if you want to watch it, you can continue watching the video.